Y'all, do y'all see it? It's right there. Need your help.
There's the message. It says need your help in the middle of it.
Shein.
Shine.
I say Shein.
It's Shein.
A special report on the boom in fast fashion retailers like Shein.
I took it out the bag and I'm like, what's that smell?
Stinking.
The hum of sewing machines fills the air, relentless and unyielding. It's past midnight in Guangzhou, China, but the factories in the so-called Shein Village are still alive with activity. Workers hunched over their machines stitch fabric under the harsh glare of fluorescent lights. Rolls of cloth spill onto the floor as trucks unload more material, feeding the insatiable demand for fast fashion. This is the reality behind Shein's budget-friendly outfits. What really goes into making those £10 dresses and £6 sweaters? Behind the affordable price tag lies a world of grueling hours, low wages, and questionable ethics. Shein's meteoric rise to the top of the global fast fashion industry has come at a cost, but how much is too much?
Shein takes fast fashion to a different level, and they're on top of every micro trend.
We offer thousands of new items per day. Shein's designs originate with Shein designers and with our Shein X third-party designers.
The bustling port city of Guangzhou, a neighborhood called Panyu, has earned the nickname Shein Village. Here, thousands of factories churn out t-shirts, blouses, pants and swimwear destined for wardrobes in over 150 countries. The scale is staggering. Around 5,000 factories work tirelessly to meet Shein's demands. Workers in these factories clock an average of 75 hours a week, far exceeding the limits set by Chinese labor laws. Some workers admit, if there are 31 days in a month, I will work 31 days. Days off are rare, most just get one per month. A BBC investigation revealed the harsh realities of life in Panyu. Over several days, reporters visited 10 factories, spoke to 4 factory owners, and interviewed more than 20 workers. The findings were damning. Shein's success is built on relentless work schedules and a workforce struggling to make ends meet.
This differs from traditional retail, where orders can often be placed in the 10,000 to 100,000 copies of a garment and can be placed between 3 and 6 months in advance.
The small batch model is a matter of controlling the cost and controlling the inventory wastage so that they won't have a large number of clothes that are sitting unsold in their warehouses in China or in the US or anywhere else in the world.
Our designers will identify an item, design it, prepare a spec for it, and then they'll put it into our supplier management system, which will identify a contract manufacturer. That contract manufacturer will procure the supplies necessary to produce that garment from a network of suppliers that Shein has approved.
Despite Shein's claims of above-average wages, the reality is far bleaker. Workers are paid on a piecework basis, earning as little as 1 to 2 yuan per garment. A woman from Jiangxi shared her experience. It's possible to make about a dozen t-shirts in an hour, but the pay barely covers the rising cost of living. Many workers push themselves to the brink, working 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to send money back to their families. China's labor laws state that a standard work week shouldn't exceed 44 hours with at least 1 rest day per week. Yet in Panyu, these regulations are little more than words on paper. Advocacy groups estimate that a living wage in Guangzhou should be around 6,512 yuan per month. But most workers earn far less, unless they sacrifice their health and well-being by working excessive overtime.
Shein's success has been possible because this city in China has everything it needs.
Spending the day here, it's clear that Shein's meteoric rise has had a positive effect on the local economy, but it's also come with increased scrutiny. There have been allegations of forced labour. They themselves have found incidents of child labour, and there are accusations that their staff are overworked.
Shein's rise hasn't been without controversy. In 2023, the company was valued at £54 billion and began eyeing a potential listing on the London Stock Exchange. But its reputation is under fire. Allegations of forced labour, child labour and poor working conditions have plagued the brand. Last year, reports surfaced of children working in Shein's factories. While the company denies these claims, workers have reported seeing teenagers handling packaging and stitching tasks, especially during school holidays. Surveillance cameras have been installed in many factories, ostensibly to ensure compliance with Shein's zero-tolerance policy on child labour, yet scepticism remains. Shein's sustainability efforts have also come under scrutiny. The company's first sustainability report appeared rushed, seemingly a reaction to criticism. A second report, published in mid-2023, avoided addressing key issues like excessive overtime. Both reports were later removed from Shein's website, with the company blaming a website redesign. One of the most damning allegations against Shein is its suspected use of cotton sourcing from Xinjiang, a region linked to forced labor involving the Uyghur Muslim minority. Beijing denies these accusations, but the controversy has cast a shadow over Shein's supply chain. Professor Sheng Liu from the University of Delaware believes transparency is the only way forward. Unless Shein releases its full factory list and provides transparency, it's going to be difficult to gain public trust, he said.
Received a package from Shein that contained a vial of human blood.
Everyone says to order from Shein, but they don't talk about the shit that you get like this. Someone explain to me what this is. Someone explain to me. No, open it. Oh my god, throw up, I'm gonna throw up.
Shein, I have a problem. I open the bag to this beach cover up and what do I find? A bug. Do y'all see that? I know you see that. What is that, Shein? I'm scared. What am I supposed to do? All right, I'm about to pick it up. I'm so scared.
Shein's success isn't just about cheap labor, it's also about technology. The company's algorithm tracks customer preferences in real time. If a particular dress gets more clicks or a sweater lingers in shopping carts, factories are immediately instructed to ramp up production. This data-driven approach allows Shein to churn out new styles at lightning speed, but it also puts immense pressure on workers and factory owners. A factory owner described the challenges of working with Shein. The orders are big, but the profit is low and fixed. We have no choice but to cut costs elsewhere, usually by lowering wages. Inside the factories, life revolves around the machines. Workers take short breaks to eat meals, often finishing in just 20 minutes before returning to their stations. The conditions aren't as cramped as one might expect. There's adequate lighting, and industrial fans keep the air circulating. Posters on the walls urge employees to report underage workers, a likely response to past allegations of child labor. Despite the long hours, some workers take pride in their role. A supervisor from Guangdong shared, "The hours are long, but we get along well. We're like a family." But not everyone feels the same. Many workers stay until midnight, driven by the need to earn more. For them, the factory is not a family, it's a lifeline.
Just took these joggers out, gave them a waft to, spread them out, and this falls out. It's very dead and very flat.
Chinese fashion giant Shein says it is investigating after a University of Bristol student said she discovered a live scorpion in a parcel from the firm. Specialist animal charity later collected it, adding its sting would have been medically significant and potentially life-threatening.
Shein's supply chain is a well-oiled machine with everything from fabric to buttons sourced locally in China. This gives the company a significant advantage over competitors in Vietnam and Bangladesh, who rely on raw materials from China. The result, faster production times and lower costs. Shein reportedly ships around 1 million packages every day. This scale has transformed the fast fashion industry, but it has also raised questions about sustainability and ethics. As Shein prepares for its IPO, the company faces mounting pressure to clean up its act.
Contained a couple dresses that I ordered, and at the bottom of the package there was a dented can of Mexican beans and there was a vial of human blood. So we're all kind of wondering, was the bean can there to break the vial and expose me to something? I don't know. So I contacted local authorities who took the blood off my hands and who were supposed to log it as evidence. I called the CDC and reported it. I called the local health department and reported it.
I think she would have a good case against Shein, the medical company, maybe even FedEx. I hope that this is a one-off thing and we don't start seeing a trend of blood vials showing up in people's Shein packages.
As the lights in Guangzhou's factories burn late into the night, the hum of sewing machines never stops. Workers push through exhaustion, stitching garments that will soon be shipped across the globe. In cities like London, Chicago and Dubai, shoppers scroll through Shein's endless catalogue, adding dresses, sweaters and t-shirts to their carts, rarely stopping to think about the human cost behind the price tag. Shein's rise is nothing short of extraordinary. From a little-known brand to a global fast fashion empire, it has redefined how we shop, but at what cost? Behind every £10 dress and £6 sweater lies a story of sacrifice, of workers who trade their health, their time and their dignity for wages that barely cover the cost of living. The question isn't just about Shein, it's about us. The fast fashion industry thrives because we demand more. More styles, more options, more convenience.
I'm so scared right now, so I'm minding my business right now. Y'all hear that? What the is that? It's from Shein. Bro, what the what is this?
And like I've been trying to lay low. My heart stopped when I realized I'm not even safe in my own home no more. Like, I'm not going to say too much for legal reasons, but that's where I'm at.
But every click, every purchase fuels a system that prioritizes profit over people. So what happens next? Will Shein continue to dominate unchecked as it prepares for its IPO? Will the promises of audits and reforms ever translate into real change, or will the voices of workers, advocates, and consumers finally force the company to confront its toxic truth? The choice is ours. We can demand transparency, we can hold companies accountable, or we can continue to look the other way, pretending that the cost of fast fashion isn't ours to bear.
First dyes are really the most common culprits, and they're at their highest levels in brand new unwashed clothes. They are typically used in synthetic clothing materials like polyester and nylon, which are commonly used in workout clothes. Sweating and friction can also cause that dye then to leach out and onto the skin.
Never seen anything like it. I couldn't wash it off. It just disappeared into my skin. Immediately my hands went numb.
Folded papers fell out. I opened one up and they all say the same thing. You are going to die in this suit.
Shein jewelry even good? I could
For them to price things so low, they have to cut corners. And one of those things are their workers.
The machines in Guangzhou will keep running, stitching the fabric of a system built on relentless demand and silent sacrifice. But the real question is, how long can we ignore the threads of exploitation woven into the clothes we wear?